innovative content, global audience.
My name is Princess KESSY, and this is Wake Up Nigeria. How are you doing today? What's the weather situation in your reports, and how are you faring with the whole Naira swap policy and the whole no fuel in town? You can assess your monies. We understand how you feel, but you have a reason to smile today. Of course, it's a new day. Be happy. You're welcome to the show on today. On today's show, I have with me Moses John also, that will be discussing, of course, doing the newspapers review with me. And of course, I have Daddy KRIS, no other person but Daddy KRIS also, to deliberate on issues. And we have these headlines trending that election has been postponed till Saturday, and then the upper Saturday, and a lot of people have been groaning because, of course, a lot of people traveled out of their base to where they are supposed to vote, and now they have to stay extra time there. And of course, this is not funny. We know how the situation is here. There is no money, there is nothing to look forward to, and a lot of people are really getting frustrated. Good morning, Daddy KRIS. You're welcome to the show, and of course, good morning, Moses John.
Morning, man. Thank you for having us, having me. Let me speak for myself. I'm happy to be here.
Moses, good morning. I think we're having a little bit of network issues there with our guest, but hopefully he will join us again. And like I said, there's this major headline everywhere this morning. The election has been postponed, and of course, a lot of people are complaining. Of course, some people are not really happy, but I just want to believe that it's in the favor of some other people also. Daddy KRIS, what's your take on this? Because I know, of course, this is going to affect a lot of people in a negative way. Light, of course, they've traveled and they've been hoping that this will just come and go. And of course, because of the Naira policy swap, also a lot of people are really hoping that after this election on Saturday, things will just become normal. But with the postponement of the elections now, what's your take on this? What do you think about this move by INEC?
Yeah, the thing is just it's been happening since yesterday on the headlines, and I'm wondering why was the wisdom behind it. But I'm very sure that INEC must have some good reason for postponing the election. For me, later than ever, if it's postponing it, will make it more transparent, will make us achieve what we want to achieve. Then I'm on for it. It's a week after all. It's not a 1 year postponement. And for those who have traveled, I can understand the inconveniences. In fact, I want this thing to be done with so that Nigeria can be stabilized again.
Go back to normal, their normal lives, and everything is back to normal. It's really sad that a lot of people are not living their best life right now. Of course, you know the money issues we have here and there, and it's really biting hard. If you see some of the footages I sent to you, of course, this morning, you see that is the catch point. Of course, the ATM machines. You see how people were sitting down, were restless. Some said they've been there for over 4 hours, 5 hours. Others came around like 2 hours, 3 hours ago. And it's really pathetic that at the end of the day, they are still not able to have access to this money they kept in the bank. So it's really frustrating. So you can imagine somebody who went there with no cash to even go back home. And at the end of the day, they are not still able to get this money. Of course, a lady there sitting there, she complained she was not even willing to talk to anybody. She was weak. She was running temperature also, that she has been there for hours and she does not have a dime with her at home or anywhere, and there's nobody to even call to come to her rescue. So it's really sad, and we really do hoping that these elections for once will come and go so that people will have their lives
again. Yes. It's a pity. Yes. I'm just trying to see if I can share some of the images. Quite pathetic, and this is not what we'll be praying to see in today Nigeria. That is it. That's a poor girl sitting on the floor. If you just can position yourself well, Princess, so that we can see your face, your beautiful face, as we see these images. Yeah, thank you so much. You see, that is really pathetic. And when is this going to end? You know, the agony is I don't know what to say anymore. It's a pity. It's a big pity, but hey, we're going to win, Nigerians. We've been surviving, and I know this will come and go. You know, if at the end of this, there is some kind of of good result, not what they did with this presidential election, then
then it's
yeah,
full. Then their effort, their stress would have been worth it.
yeah, exactly. But
Then
if at the end we get nothing from this, if it's the same old result, then you guys have a problem with us, and they will have it.
yeah,
Yes.
it's really sad, and we do hope that all these will come to an end really quick, because a lot of people, like I said, they are even, you see, now that is why people didn't want to travel. So just imagine, some people traveled that yesterday, and of course also some people traveled yesterday, and just imagine you go to where you're going to, leave everything you're supposed to do, of course, as a human, and you go somewhere just to make sure you do the right thing. And this is why it's hard in Nigeria for people to actually stick to doing the right thing, because the leaders, they don't even know, like, they are confused sense of people. It's difficult for them to stick to a particular thing and then to have it done. So I believe that's why you see a lot of people are not able to, of course, trust in the judgment of these so-called leaders, and it's really pathetic.
Yes, Princess,
Quickly,
can you send me the newspaper review before we quickly jump on it? It's like I can't find it on some of my phones, so that I can
okay,
be on the same page with you.
okay, so I'm going to send to the your main line.
Yes, better.
That is done.
Yes.
It's
So,
done.
lady, yeah, it's gone. Thank you.
Yes. So
Mhm. Yes.
I think,
So,
I guess he's having issues connecting back to us, but I
mhm.
really do hope that he's able to join us. And otherwise, he might just have to join us via a voice call this morning.
Mm.
So we have, quickly, we'll go ahead with the newspaper reviews this morning. And I'm going to take it off with the Nation newspaper. These are some of the headlines making waves this morning. You have the major headline here says INEC shifts governorship assembly polls by 1 week. And then we have another story here that says Umahi, why Lagosians should vote Shonwolu, on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. We have our president-elect inaugurates legal team, defend my mandates, on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. Of course, this is coming from our president-elect, no other than Tinubu. We also have here Tinubu Hayes Marshall's pick as G24 director, on page 626 of the newspaper. And then we
Yes. So,
have
Princess,
also,
yes, thank you very much.
and
That way
then
we
we
can
have
look
also
and see your
here,
beautiful face. Yeah.
yes, then we have also here, don't truncate power transition. This is coming from NSCIA ones, on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Of course, that is going to the sitting current president. We have also here, on the Nation newspaper, we have a story here. Court declines Obi request to stop agency from resetting beavers. This is a very topical issue because, of course, we need opinion of legal practitioners to come and tell us
Mm.
all this. And of course, we don't know why. I think last week or some days ago, the court also grants Obi and Atiku, of course, request to go through the electoral materials. But
Mm.
now it's another ruling, and of course, declining Obi from stopping INEC from resetting the beavers. Reason best known to the judiciary, of course. We have another story here. 324 House of Representatives members elect get certificates of return. That's quite interesting. And then also we have another story here that says, well, before we go further,
Yeah.
I want to discuss on these issues. I feel like, I don't know, I'm not really a fan of Lagos, Study Chris.
Yes.
You know, I am too soft to be in
I'm
Lagos.
a Lagosian. I'm a Lagosian. So
Really?
I'm in Lagos,
I
yeah.
feel like I'm a baby girl and I shouldn't be in Lagos. Sorry, Lagosians, I don't mean any harm, but each
Don't
time I
worry,
go
you're
to
missing a
Lagos,
lot, princess. You're missing a lot. Abuja is too calm for us.
each, each time I go to Lagos, I cry like a baby while walking on the road. I can't deal with it, probably because I've stayed here for a long time.
Yeah.
I think the call for a lot of people, from individuals to groups, they've been calling on Nigerians to make sure that they vote for Shomolu. I don't know, but I think this is a story I want to look at. I don't know why everybody's calling on everybody to vote for this same person. What do you think is so special
Who
that
is who is calling for? The question is, who is calling on Nigerians to vote
don't
for?
forget that Ohaneze did the call? Uh,
Those I don't mind those people. Don't mind them.
different governors have been calling on Nigerians also, and this is coming from Umai this morning.
In fact, Princess, I don't know whether I have the opportunity maybe to share with you what the governor of Ebonyi State. Actually, I have him in my magazine as one of the best performing governor of at the time. He was really stupid this morning to come out. He put up an advert that all Igbos should support APC. He was naming the states. All for political gain. You understand? So when you talk of Ohanese and begging people to vote for Showolu, that is a disgrace on their side. Showolu, for me, it's a time Nigerians should punish. I'm talking as I'm Daddy KRIS. I'm not talking for SRTV. I'm saying that it's time for Nigerians to punish the APC for what they did to us in this presidential election. If the result is genuine, had INEC released the result as planned, we will not have anything to say now. But with heading the result and seeing the way the thing went, no APC, not in Lagos, not in Delta, nowhere in Nigeria. So those people, the question.
Anyway, and of course, some of our superstars also. We have the likes of Yul Edochie. We have some musicians also saying that Lagos have been a place of home for them.
Yes.
Over the years, it has been a lovely city, and of course they felt at home, they're feeling at home in the city, and of course they were also calling that people should also vote for Shomolu. So that is why I said that a lot of
No,
people are making
the question is Lagos being our home. It's a home. Nigeria is a home for us.
for
Anywhere I
everybody.
am in
That's
Nigeria,
right.
I'm at home. So
That
nobody
is
owns Lagos. Lagos belongs to Nigeria. After all, it's our money that was used to build Lagos. I can categorically say I'm from Delta State. My money is in Lagos State. Don't get it wrong. So let us not get. Let me bring in the other guests. It may be more. The Nasarawa, our guests from Nasarawa will be more objective on this. So let's see what I can bring him in. Okay, for some reason the system may not work well that much. What I will do is I know what to do, so we have our guests too. Okay, all right. So what I'm saying is, yeah, I hope I thought we have him. All right, okay, now we have him. We have him with us. Hello.
yes.
Yeah,
Moses, welcome back.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. I just saw that I was not connected, but I'm glad I'm back.
I think your network is not strong enough where you are, but we're just gonna make do with what we have today.
Okay.
And then yes, I have another story here, of course, on the Nation newspaper that says Gadzima leads Atiku's legal team. Fire raises shops in Lagos, Kano, posted in Anambra State. Of course, we know that there is no longer news that aggrieved party are going to the court. But the way these people are coming up, I know Peter Obi came up with 20 sons, and of course, even the president-elect, it's going to be legal fireworks, of course,
I
and
think so.
only
We call
the
it a
judiciary.
floodgate in legal profession. He said there's going to be a floodgate for the legal boys to parade. Let's hear it from John.
Yes. The Moses John, welcome back. We have these are the headlines making waves this morning on the Punch newspaper, and the major headline here says that INEC shifts governorship assembly polls by 1 week. Of course, that's a major headline this morning. Commissioner says despite ruling, 176,000 machines can't be reconfigured before Saturday. And they said elections materials distributed in Delta, Osun, Bayelsa, Cross Rivers, and others. We have another story here that says National Assembly female membership drops by 11 as 11 loses re-election on page 6 of the Punch newspaper. It's really a sad one. Just when we're thinking that more women will come into power and all that, and then they are dropping off. You people are cheating us in this country. I don't know what you do.
Yesterday was the day. Don't start.
There's something they do in that National Assembly that I just don't get it. The number of male there is just overwhelming, and it's not a good one, if you ask me. We have also another story on the Punch on page 7 says Naira Buhari can be prosecuted after May 29, says SAN. This is coming from one of the SAN on page 7 of the newspaper. Of course, we have another story here that say companies consumers taxes rise by 42%. This is coming from the NBS on page 33 of the Punch newspaper. We also have long fuel queues Grand Abuja, neighboring states on page 23 of the newspaper. So I'm thinking that this is even more, we are seeing I don't want to believe that we have queues in other states. Abuja is just something else. Getting fuel is now another thing. To get fuel, it's a problem here. Also, we have another story here. Shonwolu orders probe as Buhari sympathizes with market fire victims on page 5, 4, and 6 of the Punch newspaper. Of course, we have another story here on Niger State. Terrorists kill 5 villagers, abduct 53 people on page 4 of the newspaper. We have another story here. Roadblock. Robbers attack Punchman as soldiers extort Ogun motorists on page 4 and 5 of the newspaper. Dogowa left as reps-elect get certificates of return of the Punch newspaper. That's on page 8. So these are some of the headlines on the Punch newspaper this morning. And of course, now what's your take, Moses John? We see that motorists and others villagers are being adopted. So I'm just wondering, like over 50 persons were adopted. I don't know, that Niger, no place is safe. So now we'll talk about no money, no fuel, no food, no security. You cannot be at peace in your own house because of course they went to their villages to adopt them. What's your take on this, Moses John?
It's actually a very sad situation for us as a nation, that at this age, the government, whose responsibility and constitutional right is to protect our citizens, is looking the other way, while the citizens are being abducted, and I mean, it's sad. I think going forward, the citizens need to ask who want to govern them, what they have in terms of protecting them. I mean, from this, I don't want to say they are even government sponsored because I can't really get it. How will you adopt over 50? You pass the same route where we have security agency, mining roadblocks, soldiers, civil defense, police, and all of the security personnel. And then you will now be telling me that 50 persons were adopted to where? Where are they? What happened to technology? Why wouldn't we track these guys down? For instance, when the issue of the Naira redesigning and the the cashless policy kickstart, we saw that kidnapping and other insecurity dropped drastically. Not until we start having back and front from either the Supreme Court, the government itself, and then we're having this again. You know what that means is that there's something that the government is not telling us about, I mean, the security of life and citizen in this country.
And don't forget also that I have this boy, my IT guy. I think he schools at Federal Polytechnic Bida. He was the one that told me that he doesn't want to go back there, and I asked him why. I just wanted to know, and he said, you know, and see, when I travel to school from Suleja, okay, from Mina to Bida, where he will get to the school gates, there is no one security checkpoint. And this is the correct information I'm just telling you. And so he said he's not even willing to go back to that place. He's just trying to work and do transfer and go to any of this neighboring school, of course, around Abuja. And when he told me that, I was the one that told him that I'll do that as a matter of urgency, because your blood is not what Nigeria, that school is not worth your blood. So find a way and come back home. But it's really pathetic. Of course, if you travel to Bida before, you know how long that route is from Niger, from Mina to Bida is a very long journey. I have been there like how many times? And of course, it's really pathetic that you don't have one single checkpoint on that highway. Of course, who knows? Even the security agencies, they are scared also. So I can't even blame them at this point. They are also family members. So I can't blame them too much. And then we have this story also here that says election materials distribution disrupted in Delta, Ogun, Bayelsa, Cross Rivers, and others. Now, we already having issues of yes, on Punch, disrupted. That is the word. And then and the election is even how many days again it has been postponed. So what do you make of this? I'm thinking that it's going to be a problem, because just when we think we are there and then the election was postponed, then the materials, the distribution has already been disrupted by people over there. So what does this make of the process come 11th of March?
Well, that also led credence to the fact that the electoral umpire body, the Independent National Electoral Commission, are not fully prepared. You know, you had like 4 years to prepare for another election, and then I mean, weeks or months to election, and we're having this cook and book story. I really don't understand. I mean, if he said electoral material were disrupted, by who? Really, by who?
That might just be on the details of that report.
Well, you see, the thing is, there should be proper ways in which INEC, can transport this electoral material. What happened when you, when CBN, for instance, because I'm sure is the CBN facility they use, for instance, to transport this electoral material. What happened to security agents who man those, who are guiding those materials to their place of destination? What happens to them? You know, I really don't understand. You see, the thing is, it shows that we are not serious. Truly, the Independent Electoral Commission should do better. You know, they should go and understudy the way election is being conducted in other climes. There are ways they can do this. So that whom is spending this huge amount of money, and in the end, the process will not be free and fair, or the process will not be what you can say. These guys did a credible job. So I really don't understand what they are telling us at this time. Election, okay. Now, the fact that the appeal court ruled that INEC can configure beavers, right? Now, in one of the headlines, you said a commissioner, one of the INEC commissioners said, even 1 week won't be enough to configure those beavers. My sister, this is funny, princess. This is funny. Because why should you have to configure a device which you spend huge amount of money to procure? I mean, so are you not telling us that those other data, the other data that was used to conduct election, presidential and the National Assembly, what happened to the data? Are you saying you're going to wipe them if you configured the beavers now? Why is it that this time, when the other opposition political party, I'm not speaking for them though, seek to inspect those items that you are not saying you want to configure it? Is it something INEC is not telling us?
It's really sad.
What is
truly.
From what we're going through, you see, one, we have security challenges, and INEC has failed Nigerians, and I think the U.S. ambassador said it clearly that whatever INEC is doing, the question we should ask ourselves as Nigerians is, how much have we spent into that thing? Like you said correctly, it took us 4 years. 4 good years for INEC to prepare for this. Only a day to, or even on that very day, they're telling us, oh, the thing cannot be, the transmission didn't work. This and this didn't work. And I say, hello, what is going on? You know, and if you imagine how long it took them to come up with a result, something that would have happened the same day, because as they were voting, people would have been able to judge the result immediately. We're all looking for fun. I thought I was going to join them online and announce the result. But it didn't happen because definitely something went wrong. Like you said, is there something INEC is not telling us? And number two, maybe we should look at our security architecture again. You know, this Nigerian security literature, it needs to change. It's a shame because the Nigerian policemen actually guiding these politicians are more than the ones working for the country called Nigeria. A senator have about 8 policemen assigned to them. Doing what? Nothing. What are they guiding? You understand? And we don't have policemen to actually follow our materials to where they're supposed to be. There were no police officers. I remember during the election, the presidential election, I and Princess were talking to somebody, and we asked, do you have security present there? They said, no security man. And the Nigerian government will tell us, oh, we don't have enough security men. That is true. But what about the few ones we have that you have guiding your asses? It's a shame. So maybe this is where a country like Nigeria, we need to just wake up. And that's why I'm very angry with the APC government. I thought President Buhari was doing the right thing when he came up with some of this really tightening, because I was supporting the Naira change, because some people actually have our Naira, our money in their bedroom. So the man asking for that, I was supporting the president. But don't be confused. I want to say something, and I'm just thinking that President Buhari might be hijacked. They might tie his hand somewhere. Baba, you can't do this. And don't be surprised too if INEC chairman is being blackmailed at the moment. You know what happened to this lady who was our finance Angela, who is now representing the world? They kidnapped her. Yeah, and who knows? These people might be under tension. Tomorrow,
anyway, this is Nigeria, and anything is possible.
In this situation, INEC chairman was telling us that his life was at risk.
But funny enough, I have seen Nigeria also, and I've heard from Nigerians on the street that says that this is not basically coming from the power that would be power up there, but we're talking about Nigerians now on the street. I've seen friends, I've seen people saying that yes, so his life should be at risk, because even them, if they see him, they are going to strangle him for what he did to the youth. So this is a battle not just against him and power that be, but of course with the youths. A lot of the youths are angry at this man.
I understand that.
Yes.
I understand that.
Yes.
But let you see, we don't know what he's personally going through. So the power that be might be now. And now, Shema, you are between the devil and the deep blue sea. You got to decide. Either you're going to be with the people or with the few people. Either way, now you're not going to have any friend, because those guys are ready to strangle you, and the young people are ready.
Anyway, Daddy Chris, we all have the ethics of our job, and of course, a lot of people die on the line of duty. ranging from medical doctors to security personnel to a lot of people, even journalists, they die on the line of duty. And so me, I'm thinking that the guy would have just, I know that this is something that was fierce, that election. We have the likes of Tinubu and Atiku. These are people that want to hold on to power by all means, whether bad or good. So at the end of the day, the man would have just stick by the truth or with the truth. That is just my opinion. Because
Yes,
even at this, he has so many enemies already. So what's the
yes.
point? What's the
Not making
point?
more. When you
Yes,
take an office like this, be prepared. You know.
yes. The day you assume that office, you already knew that there's going to be war ahead of you. Anyway, we have this measure before we move on. There's this the picture here, you as you can see on Punch. It's really
Okay, princess, let's have you because you can't afford to run away now. I guess he's trying to talk to us, Moses, about this central image, which is something I wanted to ask. It's depressing, you know. I think it's is it the don't be surprised that some set of people decided to put fire in that place for some reason. I don't know.
Well, I can't see the picture very clearly.
Yes, it is. I think it's what happened in Lagos, and the market bumped down.
Okay. The spare parts market that was set ablaze.
Yeah, it must be. And this tells you because they've been warning them that you are in Lagos. We will deal with you. And they actually have dealt with them now. And is this the country we want to live? You see, sometimes when people begin to agitate that they want to leave Nigeria, you say they are wrong, which is something I'm seriously against. But this kind of targeted attack, because they didn't vote APC. That is my take on it. I'm not saying that is what happened. Okay. But what can I do? They say that my place, they say there's a bird that represents the witchcraft in those days. They say the bird fly, and the king die.
The king die.
Yeah, so that is where we are.
Truly, Daddy KRIS, the issue with Lagos, it's a worrisome situation, and I really want to beg at this time that both parties must tread carefully. For instance, both the Igbos and Yorubas are all Nigerians.
Yes.
And comments like Lagos is a no man's land should be downplayed, for instance, because you see. Yes, there are people who a particular geographical location is their ancestral home.
Yes.
Now, when you make comments like "is a no man's land," it touches their. I mean, I don't know if you understand from my point of view.
Come to my village and say my village is a no man's land. What?
Honestly, it's an inflamed. I mean, it's comment that can incite anybody. Now, what I would advise is both Igbos and Yorubas have been coexisting in Lagos for years now. There are Igbos, for instance, the Labour Party candidate in Lagos State is a Yoruba man from an Igbo's parent or mother.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't now. I mean, will you not say you should hate Igbos or hate Yoruba, for instance? No. The best way is first the Lagos State governor, for instance, must ensure he brought the perpetrator of this crime to book. You don't have the right to go and destroy someone's means of livelihood, no matter the political differences. It is wrong, it is condemnable, and it's something that should be put to stop.
I agree with you.
Honestly,
that is a very good point, because you said it all. You know, Lagos, it can never be a no man's land, because there's no place in Nigeria that is a no man's land. We all come from the home. That Lagos is owned by a particular set of people. In fact, the Yoruba has been very liberal. But again, the good thing about Lagos, it represents Nigeria. It's Nigeria. You know, you see everybody. And you know what I like about it? I'm happy you mentioned the Labour candidate. A time will come There will be no Nigerian that will not be able to trace his lineage to the Hausa, that will trace his lineage to the Yoruba, because we're living together and we're bound to intermarry, and it's happening. You understand? Muslim, Christians, it doesn't matter. And you know what I love about Muslims, to be honest, if you're a Muslim, you can marry anybody, they take you as one. You understand? So that way, the religion has breached, the tribal differences between the Yorubas and the Hausas, so to say. You understand? And so if religion do us, or Christianity say, hey, you can marry anywhere. So it doesn't matter wherever you are. Hausa, you can marry me. You understand? That religion is helping to a great extent as well. All I've seen about religion has been negative, but in this area, it's helping us. You understand? So, and I think we should see Nigeria, not Nigeria of today. Anybody behaving in this form should see Nigeria tomorrow, because that is where we're going. Let's bring Princess back. That's where we're going. There's no room for, hey, Nigeria belongs to this or that. We're going to be one. In fact, it's not, when we came to Europe the first time, it was an experience here. When they say we don't belong to the society, but if you come to London now, you hardly see a pure white man or a pure black man. That's where the world is going. We have intermarried. You see so many misraised kids. In Nigeria, you call them half caste. We don't call them half caste.
Anyways, can you hear me, Daddy KRIS?
We can hear you loud and clear. Yeah. You're back. Okay, now what is going on? Because we wanted to let you carry on with your job. Yeah, so like I was saying, that is how it happened in London for some time, in the UK. But now, you can walk on the street of London and you'll be thinking, hello, where are you from? Because you can't, the skin, you can't even testify if this man is black or white. All over. And when I was in a jury service and I look around, 90% of us were mixed. Only me, there's pure African, you understand? The rest were mixed. So that is where Nigeria is going. And so let us look at the Nigeria of tomorrow. Let us see the Nigeria of our dream. That the Nigeria of our dream is a Nigeria where you wouldn't even know where you come from. Our identity should be Nigeria. Our focus should be Nigeria. I presented the show yesterday and I was talking the need to sacrifice for Nigeria. You understand? If you love something, you sacrifice. Even God loves us so much that he gave his only begotten son. What are we sacrificing for Nigeria? That is the thing. I think we should forget about these differences. It's going to kill us, and make a sacrifice for Nigeria. And
honestly, Daddy KRIS, that is one area that I think politicians need to what's it called? Redress their steps. Retract their step. That's what I need to say. Because if you check, they are the ones that are fueling this ember of division. They do that with their mind open because they know a united people can never be defeated, and so they will keep bringing aunties, they are this, they are Hausa, they are Fulani, so that they will continue to rule us without we asking questions. And my only advice is the citizens must wake up. We must understand that we are one, irrespective of your geographical location, your tribe, your religion. We are one. We are Nigerians. I think
Moses, you said it all. There are only two sets of people in Nigeria. There's no Muslim and Christian. There's no Yoruba outsiders. There are only two sets of people: the rich and the poor. You understand? It is the sickening thing in Nigeria. Some people are extremely rich. You can't find that in any other part of the world. You know, only 3 Nigerians can pay our debt without any sweat. If that's what Buhari, I was supporting the old man when he said that if you have money in the UK here, when you have any particular money, the government will ask you, how did you get it? Nigeria, you guys have this amount of money buried in the bank. Now they are the ones they can keep in the bank, but the one they actually stole from the government wallet, they buried it at home. Because taking it abroad now is risky for them. Because you see what happened to our Senate president and all. So they don't want to bring it abroad. So the money are in Nigeria. So Buhari said, bring it out, put it in the bank. He didn't say you should throw away your money. Put your money in the bank. And the man is already an evil man. I don't agree. I am a strong in fact, if I'm the president of Nigeria tomorrow, that's what I will do. You will account for any money you have. That is the only way we can run an even society. Let's see whether Princess is back to take up her job. Princess, what's wrong with the network this morning? We're not enjoying it.
This morning, nothing like I always say, nothing in Nigeria is working well, and it's not really my fault. Sorry about that.
We always say God is with us.
Yes, and then we have this. If you look at the Punch newspaper, there is this picture. They're telling a story. We have too many fire disasters in recent time. And like I said, the show is about the people. We are more concerned, of course, about Nigerians, their interest and their well-being. And this is really disheartening. The rate of fire incidents, especially when it has to do with markets, major places where a lot of things will be destroyed at the end of the day. Now, what do you think, Moses, that can be done? Because if you look at recent time, look at Onitsha. Just during December, we had the same crisis at Onitsha main market where people lost billions to this fire incident. And of course, even at Balogun, Lagos, we had that of Maiduguri and a lot of other states. And now this is coming this morning again. We say the story here says Sanwo-Olu orders probe as Buhari sympathizes with market fire victims. What can be done? Because this is becoming too much.
Yeah. Of course, that's also led credence to the fact that our agency that is responsible for firefighting, for instance, fire service, what really are they doing? Year in, year out.
I hardly see those people.
Well, year in, year out. Absolutely. Year in, year out, billions of naira is being budgeted for this agency. What are they doing? And again, in all our public markets, do we have fire extinguisher? Do we have, I mean, a market as big as that's the one in Lagos, for instance, should have a fire station there for any eventualities. But I think we are careless in this country where places where you need to have this gadget being installed, they don't do it. They cut corners. And the agency who is responsible to check whether these fire extinguishers are stationed don't do the needful. I think going forward, government should help anybody that is saddled with the responsibility to ensure a particular thing is done. Some person should be held accountable. He should either be jailed, let that serve as a deterrent. For instance, we have Comptroller General of Fire Service, right? He has never said anything. Why? This is where he should come up and tell us what happened, what led to that fire incident, and why is it that there was no firefighter to check, or fight that fire at that particular time? Is it something that they're not telling us? Is it a natural disaster? Is it that the fire, someone put the fire in the market, or there was an electrical spark? They should tell us. They should give us report what happened. Like the Balogo market, the one at Onitsha, nobody has told us what really causes those fire. Why is it so?
Well, it's really a sad one, and we appeal to, of course, the appropriate authorities to see to that as a matter of urgency, because it's becoming too like from December. Like during December, I remember in Lagos we had 2 major fire incidents in the markets, and then we had that of Onitsha also, that people were even crying that this is December. A lot of people brought in goods, and at the end of the day, everything went down the drain. It's really we sympathize with the victims also.
There's no insurance in Nigeria that will pay you for those things. What a shame.
No insurance. No insurance at all.
So you're finished.
Yes. You're
God.
Finished. They can't be finished. And then yes. And this will lead us to Leadership newspaper. And based on what you said, Moses, I'm going to take this story here, one of the headlines that says, save NIPC from mismanagement. Now, directors tell federal government. I think these are some of the issues. Now, somebody is here calling on the attention of the federal government. since the people that are there are not able to do the right thing, that is the major story that is the story at the top on the left hand side with the lady there, picture of the lady there. I think that's one of the directors there that says that save NIPC from mismanagement now. Directors tell federal government. And now these are the issues. A call now has been made. Would the federal government respond that these are the issues? And then tomorrow we hear some place has been packed up or they are having issues here and there, and then it looks as if they did nothing. So I think that the federal government also has to do its best. Since the directors there can no longer handle the issue, of course, if there were issues of mismanagement and they are not able to handle, that is why they are calling on the federal government, right?
Well, absolutely. Well, absolutely. I really don't know. Maybe I have to read that story to know the nitty-gritty of why that particular director is talking about. But you see, sometimes, when you appoint persons who are not qualified incompetent persons to head certain office, either based on quota, whatever. I mean, I am one person
based on who know who, like they do in Nigeria, instead of appointing the right people.
It's sad. It's sad. We should, as a matter of fact, do away with issue of quota, issue of federal character, issue of this nonsense should be stopped. We should work on qualified, competent persons to manage, to head certain agency. All we care for should be results. All we care for should be results. If you're not doing well, you should be boot out, irrespective of where he comes from. If we don't do this, we will continue to be complaining until I don't know what will happen. But truly speaking, we need to do away with all these things, all the shenanigans. You just appoint somebody because you will say it's his quota or it's federal character or it's not. I mean, it's nonsense. It's nonsense.
You can't do the job. It's a shame, really. These are pitiable situations. That's what I keep saying, that what we need to really do is to pick Nigeria first, love Nigeria, let the interest of the country, not your sectional interest. See, at the end of the day, really, the Hausa man, the Yoruba man, the Muslim or the Christians, they have one immediate problem: hunger. You're suffering from electricity, you're suffering from kidnapping. It got nothing to do with your religion, with your tribe. Let us put that at the top when we make this decision, because it's going to affect me and you. No matter whether you're Muslim or Christian, the same thing will affect me and you. If you are Yoruba, Hausa, Urobo, the same thing. So let us understand that. And like what Moses is saying, let our emphasis be on who can help us. Our leaders are supposed to be helping us. That's why we pick leaders. Please help us.
They're actually helping themselves, as we can all see. So we have a story here. Bandits kill pregnant woman, 11 others, adopt 50 in Niger, Kaduna. These are the issues on page 6 of the leadership newspaper. And then one of the major headline here is saying, Atiku meets IBB, Abdul Salami names Gad Zima head of legal team. Of course, on page 7 of the leadership newspaper. And then the major headline says, hours after court ruling, INEC postpones governorship polls by 1 week to reconfigure beavers, on page 4 of the newspaper. And then we have supplementary elections to hold in Dangawa's constituency, on page 16 of the paper. Army orders 36 Sky Youth warriors.
Supplementary election for what? On the presidency or which one?
The supplementary election? No, it's for Dangawa's constituency.
Yeah, I think it should be National Assembly.
Yes, he was charged with a murder or something like that. He was charged, and then he was arrested, and he has been also be paid with a fine of 50 million naira, 500 million naira, and then yes.
Princess, you see, I
want you to comment on that, Moses.
When I heard that the same judge that was suspended by the NJC for act of corruption, The same person granted Adol Dogua bail. I was taken aback. You see,
Really? I was shocked.
You see, this was someone who was alleged to be killing how many persons? Why are you granting him bail? Agreed that it's still an allegation. But why are you granting him bail? What happened to someone who stole 100 naira? You jail him. You won't give him option of fine. This person will rot in jail. Is it because he is a house leader? Or is it because he has money to bribe judges? I mean, it's sad. It's sad, really. It's sad. We can't be playing a double standard in our rules or law. I am totally angry. I'm totally angry.
It's a pity. It's a pity.
Moses, calm down. We know this is getting to everybody, not just one person.
It's not a matter of calm down. The princess. Moses made a very, very important point. Fela was saying something. He said, who be thief? I not be thief. You understand? If you see a man that you use your pen to steal billions, nothing happens to you. You understand? But an innocent man that steals biscuits, you said he's a thief, you throw him in jail. And what a society we find ourselves. Again, this boils down to Nigerians. It is you that will be making the decision. You are the one listening to the politicians. The Nigerians are the one listening to them. Because if they can understand that your number one enemy, and like I said, Nigerians must continue to ring the bell. There are only two classes of people in Nigeria. There's no Yoruba, no Igbo, nothing. It's the rich or the politicians who are taking advantage of us, and we, the ordinary people who are suffering from it. If we put that at the front of our mind, then we will make the right decision. Oh, whatever you're saying, hey, what are you going to do if you get there? Let me be on what they can do. This guy that just went there, killed some people, and said, hey, he has money, he has the influence, now he's able to get a bail. You know how many Nigerians are rusting in prison, in jail? Have you been to the prison? Have you been there, princess? You see, a country...
I've not been there.
The way they treat their vulnerable, including even the prisoners, the way they treat prisoners in Nigeria. If you go to the state of our prison, it's better you're dead. And no, let's not go into that.
Anyway, let's move on with some of the headlines we have, and I have another one here that says Army orders 36 high-use Warrior plus helicopters from the US on page 12 of the Leadership newspaper. And then we have the last stories here that says presidential poll, Tinubu inaugurates 49 sons as legal team. I already said that it's going to be legal fireworks come 49, and then we have Obi has 20. I don't know that of Atiku, maybe 100, who knows? And then they are all going to and they are all going to meet in court. Where good luck.
Let the boys share the cake. It's just the legal boys getting their own share of the cake, of the national cake.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yes.
And then we move on to your paper now, Moses John.
Okay.
The Blueprint newspaper. And one of your major headlines here says that delayed court ruling on beavers forces pools shift to March 18. So I think they said it's the ruling that they actually delayed that is bringing this move, as you can see from the major headline there. And we have February 25th poll, Atiku's legal team faces Tinubu in battle of 32 sons. So like we said, Peter Obi came with 20 sons, Atiku came with 32, and of course the president-elect came with 49. That's a good one.
It is indeed an interesting one. It is indeed an interesting one, and you can just see that these guys are somehow just playing with Nigerians. You know, because
nothing but the truth.
They are playing with Nigerians. Let's await the outcome of what the court will say on this issue. I knew that Nigerians had come out on that particular day to cast their vote. And I know who the Nigerians, they know who they casted their vote to. So let's await what, because since the matter has gone to court, we must try as much as possible to restrain in making comments on legal issue. But we will have to talk about the delay, like what the major headline talked about, that the delay has led to the shifting of governorship and state assembly posts to now 18. It is funny for me, for INEC, like the point I've made earlier, that INEC should just hide their face in shame. You've been planning this election for how long? You cannot tell us anything. There's nothing that, for me, that is justifiable by INEC. You have failed. Honestly, INEC has failed, and they should hide their face in shame, rather than coming out with flimsy excuses that this has led to this, whatever. Truly, it for me is a no excuse for me. You have no right to start making any excuse now, because I mean, how can you tell me a system that you have collected so much taxpayers' money to procure? You have told us that this system is perfect. What are you telling about refiguring? What are you refiguring? What are you refiguring?
And there you could see one of the major headlines also that says here that I will recover my stolen mandate, ex-VP. You have to want to go through the papers to get which one in particular. And then there's another story here that says President-elect granted leave to inspect beavers. So Obi is inspecting, President-elect is inspecting, and what do we do at this point? Everybody wants to inspect these beavers, and the INEC is to reconfigure beavers. And then we have here that the President-elect granted leave to inspect beavers. This country, like I said, everything's confusion. They say one thing and the next thing they do another. It's really pathetic. It is sad.
Yeah, Princess, I think is their right. Yeah, Princess, I think it's their right. If I mean, in any way, any of the candidate feels his vote, I mean, it has been somehow tampered with in any area, he has the right to say, let me inspect the beavers. Let me know how accurate the votes apportioned to me was gotten from that particular area. I don't have any issue with that. I don't have any issue with that. But they should come out to tell us, why must INEC fail to transmit election from the polling unit? If the new electoral law said election will be transmitted from the polling unit, INEC should tell us why do they fail to do that. They should also tell us why some of their staff manipulated election in favor of politicians. They should bring their staff to book.
Look, see, it's a simple thing. And INEC transmitted the result as planned, or as written in the Constitution, or as they promised us. You see, this agitation would have been less now. They delayed the result for days and days, manipulating, and then they gave us some. Who's not going to ask for that? I would personally ask to see my result. And we can see what has happened. We're not even talking about the votes that were thrown away. We can see them. Some of them were filmed. People took risks. I don't know how those kids managed to pick some of these things on camera. You understand? Mobile phone is dangerous, really, these days. And how can you accept that kind of result? I don't. Well, but for the purpose of the same Nigeria, I said we can manage to move on. But Tinubu, you shouldn't be proud that you're president under these circumstances. I expected you to be using more palatable languages. You see what our late president Yaradua did? He after winning the election, he admitted that the election that brought him to power is element of fraud in it. And he said he's going to form a government of national unity. That is how a wise leader who cares. That's the language I was expecting from Tinubu right now. But he's not. He's trying to claim much mandate. Maybe because he knew what happened then. People won't take it.
And then we have another headline here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, where would you?
Yes, INEC pleads for understanding. This is coming from INEC. INEC is pleading with you all to understand and, of course, be at peace. And then we have another one. Commission requires 4 days for the reconfiguration. So the commission is saying, this is coming from a source, they're going to need 4 days to make sure the configuration is done properly. And of course, we have another sad one here. Bandits kill pregnant woman. 4 others abduct 50 in Niger. We've seen the story before. There's a story here that say slay 6 vigilantes at Birini Gwari checkpoints. Wow, this is really sad. Killings left and right. And we have another stories here. Buhari, Lawan, Tinubu, Bello, others hail Osinbajo on 66. Happy birthday to the vice president. This is on page 13, page 7, 13, and 14 of the Blueprint newspaper. We have a story here. INEC orders supplementary polls in Dangowa's constituency. EcoBank celebrates women, assures of equal treatment as workplace. And this is the only agency so far I've seen that has celebrated us, because we're still being celebrated.
Okay.
Truly, happy International Women's Day to our women out there. Of course, without women, the world would have been
celebrated on daily basis, not just on March 8th, because we do more than enough.
Agree. Without women, the world would have been a boring place. And so we need to celebrate our women, our mothers, our friends, our sisters. We love them and we cherish them. Congratulations to our women out there.
Thank you. On behalf of the women, I say thank you. And then we have a story here, it's a sad one that says, masked men kill security guard, burn Lagos spare parts market. These are the issues. And what Moses just talked about, masked men, from where and from who. I'm just really hoping, we have been praying that the new government will bring in peace, some kind of a serenity and a sanity. But let it not be as if we're actually moving from fry pan to fire, like Atiku said. It would be really sad for everyone. And then we have the last newspaper here, Nigerian Pilot, that says governorship and House of Assembly polls configure beavers on page 8. And then we have a presidential election petition grants INEC requests to configure beavers. Orders INEC to allow Labour Party, PDP, to inspect and carry out digital franchise examination of the electoral materials. Forensic examination, I beg your pardon, on the electoral materials. And of course, we have INEC assures that information in beavers won't be lost. So this is coming from INEC. They are saying that even after the configuration, the information will still be intact.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. That's an interesting one.
That's an interesting
one. That's an interesting one. I hope it's not just the more you see, the less you understand.
That's it.
We hope, we really do hope so. Because of course, we know how it is in Nigeria. It's usually the more you look, the less you see. But we're really praying that it do not be a case like that. And then we have another story here that says court grants President-elect Bola Tinubu access to inspect February 25th electoral materials. So that means everybody's having access to the materials.
Mm-hmm.
We actually do hope that there will not be any form of a manipulation at the end of the day. Like
crash there. That's the only fear. There will be no fight, then it's fine. Because you don't put...
Yes, and then and then of course we have also INEC shift governorship state assembly election to March 18. NSC declares indefinite strike in Imo over violent attack on workers. Now, Moses, I want you to talk on this because, of course, I know you are a labor correspondent and you are very abreast with some of these labor issues. Now, what do you make of this?
Yes, Princess. It's a sad commentary for Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State to want to unleash terror on workers who genuinely want to elect their leaders. You know, you can only influence, I mean, organization that you think but you can't do that with the working people. They know who are their leaders. They can only choose those they believe can represent them. See, government should understand this, that NLC is an independent organization. It is not an appendage of the government.
Yes.
They are pro-workers organization. So you cannot want to now say, is this person I want? It's not possible. So it's a shame. It's a shame that a governor who should understand this will want to influence whatever. It's a shame. Truly it's a shame to attack workers. What for? It's sad. It's a very sad commentary, truly.
It is.
Wow, it's really sad. Like I said, like we always say, even the Bible said it that the laborers deserve his wages. And then
Yeah.
I think the governors they usually we know how they live. We know even their children. We know how they live. The cars they drive could have barely paid the workers of salary for a whole year, and then at the end of the day, they are not able to meet up to these salaries. It's really sad, and we do hope that I actually love the move of the NSC also, the indefinite strike. Let's see how that plays out. Probably that will make the governor do what is needful at the end of the day. And then we have a story here. Buhari tells least developed countries to emulate Nigeria's green bonds. So I'm thinking that Buhari should not be advising. Yes, yes.
You guys are jokers. That's a fraud.
This is so funny because I'm thinking that Nigeria is not a country. Yes, Nigeria is not a country that any sane country that should actually emulate. No, that is not right.
Is it asking them to emulate how an agency that is saddled with responsibility to conduct free and fair election could not do that in 4 years? Or they should emulate how her citizens are wallowing in abject poverty? Or they should emulate how
insecurity, killings, hunger.
These guys, they are not living in this world. They are not. They are not living in this world. Look at it to emulate. They find, oh God, oh, what is
it's really a shame. And of course, I will want to pity the countries that will want to look up to Nigeria at this point in time. Because if you ask me, Nigeria is not a country to look up to now. We are not just there and we are not ready to be there yet. And that is the fact. And then we have a story here. Atiku sneaks into Mina, holds closed-door meeting with Babangida and, of course, Abdul Salami. We've seen that before on the one of the dailies. Government kill 5, abduct 3 in Beji, Bosa local government area of Niger State. Ministers, others urge women to embrace digital technology. And that will be all from the newspaper review this morning. Of course, we've seen a lot of headlines, a lot of captivating stories, but I'm more thrilled that even the president at this time, I think that president is lost. Permit me to use that word. I think is not current with situations on ground.
Leave Baba alone. Forgive Baba.
Yes, if it's really sad that he will be falling. I think at this point we should focus that energy on the country. Focus it on the agencies, institutions, not calling on other African countries. You have no business with them. Do what is right in your country, and then you can now have the boldness to talk to other leaders outside. It's really sad, and then it's sad that we, the youth, we don't have leaders to look up to, and then they are there for their personal selfish interest. We could see that from the elections and a lot of issues. Look at just the headlines this morning. A lot of killings, insecurity. People are not allowed to move freely. And of course, that Chris, one of the headlines yesterday says that aviation fuel hits 840 naira, which might cause flight delays here and there. And that means you are not able to fly, you are not able to go on the road either. And you are not able to stay at home peacefully and even eat well because you don't have the money to eat. You don't have access to food to go out to eat, and of course, you don't even have security around you. And it's really sad. We really do hope that the government will do something about this. We keep hoping, like the ladies yesterday said on one of the Vox Pop. Are we hopeful? That is the question. Are we really hopeful? Because I'm thinking that we are not hopeful. There is no hope at this point. Moses, thank you so much for joining us. But before you leave, what's the elections, do you think this will hinder? Because a lot of people might want to come back. I have a colleague that I have somebody that is close.
Not again, Princess. Not again. You know, the network in Nigeria, thank God, Moses.
Absolutely, Daddy Chris. That is the challenges we are facing. You know, we are really going back and front in so many ways. You know, I can really understand why what is happening right now with Princess. But then we must keep our hope alive. We can only get better as a nation. We will never give up. Nigeria must get better. So we must keep our hope alive and press towards ensuring that we do the right thing. And like I always tell people, change you want to see begins with you as a person. And so we must tell ourselves the truth. We must see how we can change the nation by first changing the way we do things, the way we approach ourselves, the way we relate to ourselves, and then we can now see that change which everyone expects to see in Nigeria.
Yeah, Moses, God bless you. In fact, I'm going to have you more and more, and we're going to have a lot of discussions like this, because what is really important is understand the fundamental, what is going to make us, you see, we all want to get a better Nigeria, but how are we going to do it? Or what are the things we really need to put in mind if we're going to achieve Nigeria? First, it's like every Nigerian has lost hope. That's why I kind of like what the Labour Peter Obi did. I don't think it was not Peter Obi, it was a movement that started sometime the awakening started in 2020 when the young people went on the street. They had the opportunity for the first time to say, hey, the police are killing us, what is going on? And then that brought up another witness, it's the government. And then that thing has risen, and this is where we are. If the hope, because a country that is hopeless, if somebody that's hopeless is dead already. So thank you for giving us that message of hope. Our leaders should be giving us a message of hope, not a depressing one, not telling us how to divide. You know, when I came down from, anytime I come down from Nigerian airport, those days when I come down in Lagos, the first two big buildings you see is the mosque and the church. These are blessings for the nation, but it turned out to be a problem because of politics. Now that we speak different languages would have been a great thing. We have cultural diversity. I'm organizing a show called Nigerian Week. What I'm going to enjoy now in London is going to have different cultures exhibited. If it's only one, it will be boring. So having more, being in a multicultural society is a great one. You learn from one another. You eat different kind of food. You see, this is what makes London great. If you come to London, you go to Greek restaurants, you go to Turkish, you go to Africa, you go to Chinese. In fact, the English people don't even have a food. They only have fish and chips. You understand? So that society, it just grows. It becomes wealthy. It's a rich society. Nigeria is rich owing to our cultural heritage, different tribes and different ethnic nations. But it's not a problem because of politicians. So we need to really see the potential. You see, I'm talking to you now, I have hope in Nigeria. Talking because what we have is not even just the natural resources, but the human resources. Nigerians are so blessed. Princess is back. We are so blessed with human resources, and that we have no reason, no single good reason to be where we are. We need to have, how do we harness the potential in the Nigerian youth? How do we harness the potential in our women, in our leaders? Then when you put that at the front, not being sectional, let us use our differences as a thing of wealth that we celebrate in festivals. Because there's no culture, there's the rudiment of every culture is love. The rudiment of what we're lacking in Nigeria, if we can build Nigeria on that love, which every culture preaches, we will not have a single issue. I think the princess is trying to come in. I wanted her to come in and she can close the show. So Moses, when we have people like you, I'm happy you're doing your own beat, and because the press is the key. They're the mouthpiece of the nation. The government can try to do anything, but if the press refuse, nothing they're going to be able to do. So, and I will first fight for a better welfare for the Nigerian press. In Delta State, I'm very happy with them because the guys are broke with a small envelope. They begin to sing a different song. They're not holding government accountable. And if that is the case, then we are at loss. We are in trouble. We're relying on the press. In the UK, if you misbehave, the newspaper, the journalists, the women will just be around your door. Hey, Prime Minister, did you do this? They will throw the question if you refuse. You'll be embarrassed. We want a situation where our government must talk to us and we'll be able to bring their shit to the public. That is the only way we can get in an even society. Actually, mobile phone is doing better than we thought. Mobile phone has put us in check. It's how the major journalists can now take advantage of this to track our politicians. You can't go to the law court and make a genuine case if you don't have evidence. So, Princess, over to you.
Yes, so network issues here, terrible. I wanted to ask Moses. Now, a lot of people said, I have a friend that said her flight back, her return ticket is for Sunday. And since this issue now, she's not very sure that she's willing to stay back. She will just have to come back to town. Of course, a lot of people also in their places of work were not given that long period of time to stay off. And we know, I know my personal opinion that this is going to hinder the elections come on the 18th. And now what's just your last words from here and we can wrap up for the day.
Well, of course now. Of course it's real.
To vote, right? I know you're in Abuja right now, but are you going to your state to vote? Let's start from there.
No, you see, the issue is my voter's card was collected in Abuja, and that's the point that I made earlier. If INEC is serious, I don't need to travel to vote for any election in Nigeria. If I have a MasterCard ATM, that any part of the world that I go, if not because of the current economic policy, I can use that card. Why wouldn't I, as a Nigerian, use my card to vote, irrespective of where I was at that particular time? So it is sad. So many Nigerians would be disenfranchised.
Moses, what about us? We in the UK, all we work, all the money we earn, go back to Nigeria. We cannot.
I agree that that's what I said. If you have a MasterCard, I mean, you are supposed to use your voter's card and vote in UK, and it will trickle down to INEC server here. Why won't INEC allow the diaspora to vote? It is sad. I know we will get there. I know we'll get there one day.
Yes. I will invite them to the event because these are all simple things that could have been done. You understand? It's an intentional act. You understand? And that way,
it's really,
I know,
really sad.
You know the good thing, like you said, Moses, the future is bright for Nigeria because the future is
absolutely.
You know, we're thinking well. We can see they can continue to fool us for some time, but not all the time. The time will come.
That's right.
Take our country back.
It's really sad because the insecurity issues, people are not able to travel by road, by air, and then somebody still travel, and then you get them more frustrated at the end of the day. We really do hold the INEC, and of course, the government will do something about this. Thank you so much, Moses, for joining us today. Hopefully.
Okay. You know, Princess,
my pleasure.
The network don't want Princess to close the show, but we're going to try and round it up.
You there, Moses?
Yeah.
Moses, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's my pleasure to be here today. Thank you so much for
Hello,
having
Moses,
me.
are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Very well.
Yes,
Princess is
so I
still
really
around
do
here.
hope we do this together again. The newspaper reviews. It was quite interesting with you. Of course, I don't even expect less as a senior reporter. Of course, I was really expecting that you do justice and of course read.
Thank you so much
Moses,
for
are you
having me.
there?
Yes.
Yes, thank you
Moses
so
is
much
here,
for having
Princess.
me, Princess.
Hello,
Yes.
Moses.
Yes.
Yeah,
Princess is
yeah, I
here
can
as a
hear
reporter.
you.
Yes, I said I was really hoping that you do justice, and of course you did great justice this morning. And so hopefully we'll do this again, the newspaper review sometime, maybe next week. Once in a while, we'll have to bring you into the show. Of course, as a senior reporter, you should have a lot of ideas and things to talk about because you're always abreast with national issues. So nice of you to be on the show today. Thank you so much. And please, while you're out there, be safe and be at alert. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for
Moses,
having me, and
Moses,
my pleasure always.
Moses, before you disappear, I want you to know that I am so impressed, you understand, with you. And hopefully we'll be seeing you as a regular correspondent with
Sure,
especially on the
sure.
morning show. You understand?
He will,
Because
he will, he will, he
this
will
is
always be with us on the morning show. Yes,
it's important.
No
moving
problem,
forward.
no problem. You're always welcome. You're always welcome. Anything at all, I can add my voice to making Nigeria a great place. I will always oblige and be there. Thank you so much once more.
Thank you, Moses. And just before we go, don't forget that we have our Nigerian Week London, which is coming up May. Of course, everybody needs to be a part of it. It's not just the fun part, but of course, the business part of it, the connections you're supposed to get. Of course, apart from the food, I'm interested in the food part. Who would
Oh
want to eat
yeah.
different cases? And the colorful culture, all that. We have cultural dances, we have films, we have music.
Yes, Princess, we're going to, at the point now, we're going to tell your network, relax.
Should
Anyway,
be able to connect to the world. We should be able to showcase ourselves globally. And come May 15th, we're going to do that all road list to London. And we're going to do that and put Nigeria on the map again. Daddy
yes,
Chris,
that's
hello,
very
can you hear
correct.
me?
Princess, just in addition to that, what I've added to the package is to actually invite government bodies like the Nigerian Custom to come and tell the international community the ease of doing business in Nigeria. Inviting, for instance, the Nigerian immigration. So if you come into Nigeria to do business, this is what you expect. It's a showcase of Nigerian activities and businesses to the rest of the world. And it will not be a bad idea to have INEC to come and talk to us in the rest of the world what they
Do
are
we
doing.
really want to have INEC? Are you sure we want to have INEC?
Put them on the stand and hear from them because they have a presentation to make. Listen, it's good to listen to both sides of the story. I don't think I want to have them now, but they are part of Nigeria. This is an important institution in Nigeria. There's nothing wrong, actually, because we want them to do better. In fact, most of the things going through, like we said at the beginning of the show, we don't know what is really happening to them. You understand? But a reasonable man who put his children at heart will not do what they're doing now. Because it's not about us anymore. We don't think about the younger generation. Future are coming. Nigeria is greater than us. We are today here because of what our forefathers did. And we're going to leave, whether we like it or not. People will take over from us. What would they say about us? A greedy generation? That will not be too good. That will not be too good. Remember.
All right. And also don't forget the face, SRTV face that is coming up, a beauty pageant. Of course, you just register online. That's all you have to do, all my beautiful ladies. Register as low as 500 naira. Send in your picture, your state of origin, of course, your age to be part of this pageant. Of course, who knows? You might just be the one with the crown. We have a lot of these attached to it, and of course, we have a lot of prizes to be won also. So please take this seriously, be part of it. Don't be left out. Daddy Chris, thank you so much for being part of the show this morning. And Moses, we are so grateful for having you this morning.
Early, the young woman, because stop waking me up.
but of course, in Nigeria, the sun is up and everywhere is so bright. And of course, I know
it's very
it's cold there.
in London. Yeah. It's really cold.
Sorry about that. Anyway, you can go back to sleep while we'll go out there in the street
Not
to do what we
anymore.
know how to
Not
do.
after talking about Nigeria, you go to sleep. How does that work?
Do have a nice day. Do have a nice day. And please, Nigeria. Yes, while you are out there, be safe, be at alert, and of course, don't lose the hope. Tomorrow is bright. Just share or be happy. The fact that you're alive today just shows that tomorrow might be better. So be happy. Do have a lovely day. I'm Princess KESSY, and bye for now. See you tomorrow.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of art, national cash crops, financial product and services, and real estate. For huge extra opportunity in diaspora, look no further. The 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian Film Corporation, and host of others will be in attendance. Date 15th to 21st of May 2023. Venue Lighthouse, Camberwell, Southeast London. For details, log on www.superiorradiotelevision.com/Nigerian Week or call +447 549 513 619 or +234 814 358 2856. The Nigerian Week, celebrating the best of Nigeria from the rest.